The Kendy and Raybo podcast, sponsored by Maves and the Garavogue Bar.
Okay, this is it now.
Okay, 1,
2, 3, 2.
1, 2, 3. I had to put me thing.
You didn't do the clap.
I know, yeah, because it doesn't work.
Okay.
The audio doesn't work.
Yeah.
If it was two Johnny's podcast now, you wouldn't have to do any of that.
No, because there'd be someone there doing it for you.
There also wouldn't be a big load of smoke blowing up in your face.
One of the Johnnies wouldn't be vaping away.
Are both screens on, Brendan? Okay, all right. Don't get fucking aggressive. He was like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
he's back from the annual leave. He's not very well rested.
unbelievable. Are the fingers all right, Brendan? Are you finding it hard to keep them? You haven't
Just
flicked-
go easy the first half an hour.
Yeah, you haven't flicked the keys yourself in a long time.
Yeah.
You're going to get carpal tunnel syndrome or whatever the hell it's called. Did I
What
see the flag at the Ireland match?
I have a problem with the Ireland match.
Okay, well, good. But let's find out about flag first.
An English fan had a big flag, bring back fingering.
Oh,
An English fan had a big flag that said "Bring back." Well, the Irish invented
tell
fingering.
them now. They didn't hear that.
I'm
now.
just going to tell you, the Irish invented fingering.
Do you know how that works?
Sorry,
out?
we perfected it.
Brendan said something in the distance.
Yeah.
Then you said, an English flag that says bring back, and then you stopped.
And then I
you
talked
said,
about fingering.
I
So-
invented fingering.
Yeah, I think that people will understand what I meant, Ray, or what the flag said. What's your problem with the England match?
Were there Irish fans singing Lizzie's in a box? I realise how much of a West Brit I am at this point.
Yeah, it's unbelievable that you're going straight
Here's
on.
me after finding offence in that, going, that's very disrespectful of the Irish fans.
Yeah, no, but I agree with you. It is really disrespectful. Like,
Yeah.
Like,
Some awful stuff happened over that game.
The thing is, I think you can make jokes about everything, but when football fans, they always get ahead of themselves.
And take it too far.
And I think they do take it too far, yeah.
Yeah.
I think singing Lizzie's in a box probably takes it too far.
It's very far.
But does it matter? Like, the thing is, Lizzie wasn't anyone's grandmother at the match, we'll say.
No, but
so they were singing it to people who were probably going,
she was the
We don't give a
grandmother
shit.
of the nation.
how many people...
What are you laughing at,
How
Brendan?
many people do you have to sire to be, or do you have to have been sired by people to have?
Sired by.
So now the thing is, the reason that, so I wouldn't sing that song, but the reason that I don't care that they were singing it is if you don't think that the English fans can sing songs back in a similar vein,
yes, okay.
you are absolutely wildly
Right.
mistaken.
They were very quiet, so in this video.
Yeah, I was listening to my two brothers when they were young were at the game in Brendan will probably look it up now and tell me what year it was when they wrecked Lansdowne. It was in the 90s anyway, I think, late 80s, 90s, when Ireland played England there. And I was listening on News Talk to he was the chief of the Gardaí at the time, and he was telling the story about how they knew stuff was going to go wrong. So there was a big riot at that game and it was abandoned, okay? And he said, we knew it was going wrong when thousands of English fans were marching through Dublin together and just assaulting people on the way.
Oh, Jesus.
And they still continued on and tried to start the game, and they just ripped Lansdowne Road apart. I think they tried to set it on fire.
What got into them that night?
I don't know. It's almost like there might be a history between Ireland and fucking England.
I was asking that naively, and then I remembered there might be a small bit
But
of a
also,
history.
I mean, I don't mind saying this. I do think it's slightly ironic that we go mental supporting British and English soccer teams.
Yeah, and then...
But then... And it's not that not the point that most people make of and then you're against them, because obviously we're against them because we're Irish supporters,
Yeah.
like, you know. But what I mean is that British football fans have a terrible reputation amongst a small minority of them, I may say, of being absolute terrorists at games, and especially when it comes to England games.
Yeah.
You look at that documentary, Attack on Wembley, there's loads of different stuff that it would tell you that they're fucking a bunch of flutes when they're out there. It doesn't happen at rugby, and it does happen a little bit in the GAA. Mayo are the England. Do you remember when your man came out onto the pitch and his daughter had to drag him out off the pitch? Remember that video?
I don't know. I know what sport.
An old fight there between an old Mayo and a Kerryman, an old foul, maybe a few boys get into it. Next thing, fucking Paddy's out in the pitch trying to fight everybody.
Can I ask you why Wayne Rooney's back playing a bit of soccer?
I'll tell you,
I've seen videos of him with a big pot belly scoring a savage goal.
yeah, it just shows you class is permanent.
Have Man United brought him back?
Well, my favourite thing is that there's a guy called Thiago Silva who's 41 and he's still playing.
Yeah.
Wayne Rooney is 38, like he's not. He obviously didn't keep himself in good nick, but I mean, why would he?
Yeah.
Fair play to him for looking the way he does. He doesn't look that bad. Like, people are just like, oh, he doesn't look like he did when he played. Well, obviously, he's retired. Now, the thing is, he is playing Legends games.
Yeah,
where
that's
they
what
all
it
play
was.
against each other.
Yeah, that looked like fun.
Oh, that's great crack.
Yeah, it
that's
looked like
good
they're all
crack.
enjoying themselves.
And it is funny to see them just not having it in them anymore to beat a player or like that's my favorite thing about it. There used to be a thing on Sky Sports. Sports fans out there listening will know this. It was called Masters Football, and it was indoor soccer 5-a-side for boys who had bellies like Wayne Rooney,
Right.
who used to play it 20 years ago, and it was class to watch.
Okay.
Geez, they want to bring that back. Maybe they did, and it bypassed me.
I used Roy Keane as an example today.
Oh, good stuff, Ray. You're like, do your Judas
Yeah,
search.
so
if Roy Keane had 5 goals
I compared to myself.
and I had 3 goals.
Oh no! I compared him. I compared me to him.
In what?
Wow, Brendan says wow. I compared him because I'm 6 years in my current role in the Department of Government.
Okay.
Right? And there's rumours abounding about the office, the halls of the office, saying that there's big moves happening.
Ray's giving out about the facilities, like
No,
Saipan.
there's big moves happening, and apparently a scatter lads are getting moved around.
Oh,
Yeah.
you don't say this.
And I don't know. Oh, sure. I'm sure it'll have happened by the time this comes out.
Hopefully.
So
3 days to get this done.
Of course, it's the big worry then that you're part of the moves.
Oh, yeah.
And I was trying to say to my manager today, I said, moving me now would be like moving like Roy Keane and I had to try and I didn't know the exact ins and outs of it, but I presume at some point Roy Keane was in the Man United squad.
Yeah.
And he was getting on a bit.
Yeah.
But he was still an integral part of them Jimmy's winning matches.
A little bit, yeah. That's
Yeah,
good, but that's good,
So
yeah.
I was thinking I must be the Roy Keane of the section.
Where they can't.
Where moving him now would be bad. You wouldn't win that last title.
We give him 2
sport.
more years.
Yeah, give me 2 more years.
And
yeah.
then you'll get.
Then I can go.
And then you'll be. Where would you end up?
I don't know.
Social welfare.
Social housing or something. I don't know. Mad stuff. But
It is. I'm very, very proud of you for using the sports reference, albeit a long way around it now. But
Yeah.
you still did it.
I still did it. I took a chance.
Would Roy Keane be the only sports star that you'd be confident about making a metaphor like that with?
Probably. Him and Tony Yeboah.
Oh, yeah, Tony Yeboah. Oh, Lord above, how do you know Tony Yeboah?
Because at one stage in my life, like I said before, in a very not so recent podcast, I was forced to
Leeds.
to pick a football team that I supported, and I made a stupid mistake because I picked the one team that no one supported, only my father.
Yeah.
So I went into school very proud of myself, and I said I am a Leeds United supporter.
I am now a big fan of Leeds Wanderers. Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Leeds Forest.
I am Leeds Rovers through and through,
Through and through.
till I die. May I say, everybody.
Yeah. So I did die in that hill. But at the time, I had to try and immerse myself in the names of people.
Oh,
and
yeah.
at the time, the famous Leeds United striker, Tony Yeboah.
Oh, what Tony Yeboah. Like, he played about 4 games. He scored 2 belters of goals and then he was never seen ever again.
Yeah.
Gone then.
It's
Gone
great.
into the mist. He was unbelievable, some of them goals he scored.
Then I switched to Blackburn Rovers, so I was.
You can't be jumping.
They got good then with your man. What's Alan Shearer?
Woo!
Yeah. So I have all the names.
Well, I was saying this, that I do find it fascinating to see young lads supporting Man City nowadays in Ireland. Because it's just so foreign to us. Because Man City were a Championship League One team when we were growing up, you know. But now there's
And
young
Leicester.
there's young lads supporting them. Well, the Leicester one is like Leicester would have been a big team when I was young, as in they would have been in the Premier League quite a bit. They would have had to get the Walkers logo at the front of the jersey.
But they wouldn't be getting very far.
No, they would have been all right. Like,
Nice
they
to
would
see
have been.
Newcastle doing a bit better again.
Not really, no.
Am I right in saying they're still doing a bit better?
They're doing a bit better, but it's because they have the power of Saudi Arabia behind them.
Go on, the Saudis.
So that is why.
Off the sport subject now for a minute.
Yeah.
I have to give out.
Go on.
I've
You
only
want
one,
to give out.
I've only one thing to talk. I know it's unusual.
Look at the fucking head in you. Hang on the turn you. Go on, give out now.
There's only one. Sorry, camera angles.
Yeah.
There's only, and if you're on Patreon, you'll get to see what Mark.
You
just
would have
did.
saw big move.
Big move.
Woo! Big move. Go
We're
on.
in the box room again this week, by the way, for episode 257.
Yeah, last time, if anyone wants to know, oh my God, how come they're not recording in the box room anymore? I got reminded of it today when I had to cancel on the lads 10 minutes beforehand because my daughter was having an absolute meltdown.
Yeah.
And you can't record a podcast with a toddler screaming.
No.
We managed to calm her down. We put her in a house outside. Now she wants that, by the way. That sounds bad. Fair play to her godfather.
Let's just have a moment for her godfather.
Yeah.
Who buys a child a house?
Oh, yeah, Derek, in fairness,
There's
is the
swinging
fight.
Big Mickey
Yeah.
there now.
He landed with a house yesterday.
He landed
to
with
the
a
house.
small house and put it out the back. No planning permission, nothing.
Yeah. Well, when she got vexed, that's where she went. But also, I had to sit there and watch her sulk in
Isn't
the house.
that funny?
Have you ever seen a fella buy build.
Yeah.
Try and fit into what they're called a
Well,
Wendy
you had
house.
to go into the house
I had to
with
go
her.
into it and sit down in there with her for
What
half
kind of
an
an
hour.
energy rating has that joke got?
That's an A1. If you close the windows, it's A1.
It isn't.
Jesus, great heat. They're insulated.
They're
you know
not
that?
insulated.
They're insulated, Ray.
But it's an expensive gift. Now this brings up
Outrageous
the
expensive.
like,
But he has an ulterior motive, you see.
yeah, so this is something that's happening I wasn't aware of.
Yeah.
That Derek would be Ali's godfather.
Yeah.
And her godmother would be
Nicola's sister, Sam.
Sam.
Yeah.
And there appears to have been a bit of competition now. And I wonder out in the podcast world, the people listening, is this a thing? Do godparents compete for the affections of the child?
Yeah, they compete with Pound for sure.
Yeah,
They're
because
100%
this
do.
never happened. All the godparents I've ever witnessed down through my life, literally it would mean a slightly increased present in the card, as in extra cash. But that's about the height of it.
Well, you said, do they
compete?
do they compete for the affection of the child? No. They compete just amongst themselves.
Right.
So that they can go, look what I just
This
did.
is great though for Ali because she's ultimately going to be the winner of this.
Yeah, and it's bad for us as parents who give because like we got her a kitchen, like a little kitchen, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. And then Tarek landed with this thing. He nearly had to get it delivered in a van. The size of the box that came to the house.
And now
like.
you have a place for her to go to regulate herself if she needs to
Oh
calm
yeah,
down
well,
after.
she did. But the
Yeah.
thing is, she won't go out. You have to go out and watch her sulk for half an
Oh
hour.
God.
Fucking nightmare.
I'm sorry, but thankfully then
Anyway.
you calmed her down and we were able to do this.
Just about,
podcast.
yeah.
So
good
we'd like to
fucking
thank Ali for not ruining
But
tonight.
it just shows we can't do this box room. But
No.
anyway, for one more week, we are here again.
Great.
But go on, what were you saying? You're about
I
to give
have
out.
to give out.
Yeah. Go on and let it out, Ray.
On Saturday, we got up. It was a lovely day.
Yeah.
7 hour. I hadn't left the house in a few days.
Good.
So it was time to go. So I said, well, we'll go out for a nice walk and a bit of a breakfast.
Yeah.
I love a bit of a breakfast out.
Yeah, so do
It's
I.
one of my favourite out meals.
Yeah.
And I'm especially fond of an Eggs Benedict.
Oh, yup, you buy it. Yeah.
Now, you told me before, don't be saying names of places so that we can properly discuss.
Yeah.
Do I say the geographical location of where this place
No,
might be?
it's in Sligo.
It's in Sligo County.
Because it doesn't matter out into the story.
Yeah, it is. It's in Sligo, and it's when I say it could be near a beach.
Okay, but you didn't even have to say that.
Didn't have to say that,
No.
so I'll take it back.
Yeah.
So we went for the breakfast, and I was looking forward to this breakfast, and in we went, and we sat down, and we looked at the menu, and I was disgusted.
No
that,
Eggs Benedict.
That a place in Ireland would be doing such crimes.
Go on.
The breakfast was one sausage,
That's.
one bacon,
Hang on now. Are you in Travelodge or what?
one black pudding, one fried egg, toast. Right, $10.95.
Christ. Was there a fried onion or fried tomato?
I was a half a tomato as well fried.
So whenever the people do this one thing, I say, put back the tomato, put back the black pudding and give me 2 more sausage.
But never mind. But the fact that on the menu it specifically said it's one.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
always think, am I missing something with the price of pork?
Yeah.
Because I can go into Dunn's and get fucking 16 jumbo sausages
Now,
for £2.
How much do you think, if you wanted extra sausage, how much per sausage would you want?
Okay, that should be about 50 cent more.
Right. €1.75 for an extra sausage.
I mean, I'd nearly go in
Brendan
and
is
cook.
even nearly passed out. And him at the shop local heading him going,
He couldn't even shop local at them prices.
You
He'd be
can't.
struggling. He gets his sausages on Amazon.
If I-
You know that? Do you know that?
He gets them delivered.
He gets them delivered on Amazon.
Yeah, 3 months later.
Yeah. He
From
gets,
some private seller in Botswana.
he gets them on Temu. That's where he gets all his pork on Temu. Tastes fishy to me, that.
So for me to have, like, I would consider a full Irish breakfast or any Irish breakfast.
Yeah.
That, you know, it would have 2 sausages.
2 sausage.
I mean, there's a song in the world.
Well,
right?
that's about a roll now.
2 egg, but it's 2 egg, 2 bacon, 2 sausage, 2 rasher, 2 pudding, 1 black, 1 white.
Well, I'd have 2 white now. I
would
don't
you
like black
have?
pudding.
Oh,
yeah.
no, but you got to diversify. You got to.
No. And you see that fried tomato thing? What a load of shit.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we'll give you a little healthy
It just
option on
fills
it
the
there that we
spot.
fried and shit. It's a load of shit. Now, I'll tell you what I do enjoy. A big lump of an old bean.
A bean? Oh, you love a bean?
Lord above, I love a big lump of a bean. My ideal one is 3 sausage, 1 rasher, no fat, right?
No,
They
if
better-
you want them to cut the fat off for you.
Or crisp it up.
A crispy medallion.
Yeah. A crispy medallion.
Yeah.
That I'd wear that round my neck. That's beautiful, right? Right?
Yeah, okay.
Right? A pair of white pudding
Yeah.
and a lump of a bean, and that's all I want.
That's all.
honest
Would
to
you
God.
toast?
Yeah, like even toast, I'd take it or leave it. Like,
Hash brown.
oh Lord,
There wasn't even a mention of a hash brown in this menu.
So
I mean,
my big question for this is, and not to get too dramatic, who do they think they are? Because And who do they think they're feeding?
But I wouldn't mind.
Because people are clearly going to be upset about this.
I wouldn't mind. Look, they didn't lead me on in any way. The menu was very specific. If I was going for this breakfast for $10.95, it was going to be one of each. And I knew all. And then I actually looked and went, well, I can't. I knew in all good conscience I would not have enough in that. So I did say, can I get an extra sausage?
Right.
So I went for the €1.75 sausage.
I mean, I'm shit at maths, but that's about €16
That's
now.
a sausage. I took a sausage supplement.
Right, okay.
Supplementary sausage on my plate.
Yeah.
And then, so it's up at what? It's 11, 12, it's 12.70.
24
12.70.
Oh, 12.70, yeah.
12.70 now. And I could have gone for an extra rasher, but I said, I can't afford it. I'm trying to buy a house.
No, you couldn't. No, honest to God.
Yeah. You're only out
in
for
today's climate, you couldn't.
But
I'm so glad you didn't say the name now.
What's happened to places that they can charge this?
Okay, so if you want to get a good lump of a breakfast, so this place I can almost guarantee you was.
I know where you need to go.
It was Notions 11,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, so the thing is, when you go to these funky, freaky breakfast places, they're full of shit.
Should have gone to the works.
There you go.
Yeah, should have gone to the works.
Actually, you're dead right.
Yeah.
You should have gone downstairs and Trevor in the works, right? They'll give you 8 sausages. Do you know how we want to know if it's a good breakfast spot or not,
Stuff
right?
going back to the kitchen after you've had it.
Go in there at 11:30 and watch all the boys, all the workers who need a good, hearty breakfast. They're all in there.
It was
flooding
Notions
the place.
11. It was everything
If you
was
go into
expensive.
these places, even Eggs Benedict, like you weren't raised on an Eggs Benedict. No,
But I
like,
do
let's
love an
be
Eggs
careful.
Benedict now.
I know, but you should not like. An old simple old Irish breakfast really is what you should be going for. You should like a lot of these old breakfast places nowadays. You'd nearly fucking I don't know.
No, I don't be putting them down now.
No, I'm gonna put all of them down.
No, old breakfast spots with the fancy things like a smashed avocado. I'm big into a smashed avocado.
No, waste time. Smashed avocado.
Why?
I'll tell you, Ray. If on the bottom of my shoe now is when it looks best, Ray. It's rotten.
It's not.
It is.
Not.
No,
if you're a
avocados
tourist
love
now
bollocks.
and you're coming into Sligo, there's a cafe called Blend.
Yeah.
They do a nice smashed avocado.
Yeah, but you know what else they do?
What?
They do a good hearty sausage and egg.
They do.
Fucking barriso.
Yeah.
That'll blow the trousers
Anyway,
off you.
That's
it's
all
unreal.
I wanted to give blow the trousers. That's all I wanted to give out about the prevalence of terrible restaurants charging too much.
Yeah, no, yeah. You'll sink yourselves.
Yeah.
Honest to God, if you're trying to charge breakfast like that, it's unreal.
That's
like when
my-
people wake up for stuff like that.
I think Brendan has something to talk about.
Oh, go on, Brendan. Sorry.
Yeah.
Just the Irish question. Did it include tea and toast?
Oh, did it include tea and toast? The breakfast, Brendan's
No.
wondering.
It included toast, and when I say toast, it was literally half a slice of sourdough.
Stop.
Toasted and then cut in half so they make
Okay.
a triangle out of it.
Notions 11,
And then I
waste time.
I think it was another $3.20 for the pot Irish tea.
Not to big up the works, they don't sponsor us renting. But the other thing as well is, when you get the full breakfast inside, it's called the works. You know, when you get that as well, they go, "Do you want tea or coffee?" And if you say coffee like I do, they don't drop you down a little coffee cup thing. They fill up a good mug of coffee. That's why boys are in there every day. That's what you need. You'll only sink yourselves.
Can I ask
selling fucking souvenirs?
Yeah. So tell you what. What are you saying now? You're after throwing a place that's not in question here under the bus. Is
I
that what
know.
you're after doing
I
there
didn't,
now?
but I didn't know I was doing
That's a different place.
No,
not
sorry.
the place I'm talking about.
I wasn't talking about that place either. I promise you, I wasn't. I really mean that. Okay. It's just I know these places. That's all I'm saying.
Souvenirs are fine as long as you do a nice breakfast with them. Okay.
I feel terrible now I haven't said that. But go on anyway. We didn't mention anyone yet. So
No,
it
we
doesn't
didn't
matter.
mention. We did well. Your hat reminds me of the intro to most Adam Sandler films.
What do you mean?
It's got, what's the thing? It's Adam Sandler when he does a film, the production company.
It's called Happy Madison or something.
Yeah,
or
Happy
what's it called?
Madison, yeah.
Oh, it does look a bit like that, does this? Well, what do you think I'm dressed like right now?
You're dressed like a golfing gentleman.
Well, yes, because I was a golfing gentleman.
Were you golfing today?
Yeah, I golf now probably 3 times a week now.
That's
so,
the last of that
yeah.
now, as soon as you think of it, have a child.
It absolutely is.
Have you any idea what you're letting yourself in for?
With
Like
another
it's one-
child?
yeah.
I do now, yeah.
You do now, yeah.
Yeah, I said this before, so for any parents out there, be awful careful because
Wear condoms.
I was trying to say this. There's a friend of mine who's expecting a baby, and he was like, "Okay, so what am I in for?" You know, I was literally talking to him last night,
Yeah.
and I said to him, "Enjoy. You're going to panic for the first 6 months,
Yeah.
right? Because it's new." But you'll soon realize that was the easiest part of it.
Oh.
We can all go without sleep, okay?
Yeah.
Like getting up every couple of hours is grand. I said to him, the second they become mobile and cognitive of the world around
That's
them,
when you're in trouble.
that's when you're in real trouble. Today is a great
Yeah.
example of that. Because if they turn on you, that's the end of it. Like, your whole day
Imagine
is
saying
fucked.
children are turning on you.
Yeah, but they
Yeah.
do turn on you. They're manipulative.
It's going to be funny when I get myself into this situation.
Yeah.
Because I'm really naive to it, and I look at Ollie and kind of go, "What's going on there? It couldn't be that bad."
Why are they yeah.
Yeah, why are they so upset about it all?
I know it's mad, Ray. You're
But
such an idiot.
yeah, and I've some good friends also with children, and they've all said to me, "We can't wait.
Yeah.
We can't wait until you
Yeah.
know what we're talking about."
Yeah, it
but,
is.
But
Yeah.
for now, us without the children, we're just going to say, "What are you giving out about?"
But the thing is, I mean, obviously you can have babies that suffer with colic and whatever else, and they might not sleep and all that crack. Like I know people who babies don't sleep. But anyway, Ali was very good for the first year of her life. So good that me and Nicola were like, let's do another one of these beautiful things.
Right.
And I said this before. Right as that happened,
That's when she turned.
that's when she turned.
Old bitch.
So all of a sudden, if it was an Instagram reel, it would have started with fucking Randy Newman or "You Are My Sunshine," and then there would have been a sharp cut in the Instagram reel,
Yeah.
and it would have cut to like Pantera
Yeah.
and this young one wrecking a house.
Cowboys from hell.
That's exactly what it's
Yeah.
like, because I don't know. They're number one, they're manipulative. They know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
Number two, they will let you know, oh my God, I am ripping with you. I'm going on to my house now that my godfather
Yeah.
bought me.
Yeah.
And you realise then the toddlers are tough.
Yeah.
I think it has to be the toughest stage. Like,
Well, I'm delighted for you anyway. I hope it gets better.
no,
No.
it won't.
Thank you, by the way. You put on a lovely spread for Ali's. I can't believe she was pissed off today. She got the nicest second birthday party ever yesterday,
She
where we all
absolutely
came
did.
over
Yeah.
and we completely ignored her and sat around in a circle chatting about movies.
Isn't that? I said it was just we were one more away from the old school where we all just drank for the whole day,
Yes.
and didn't even look at her.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were very close to that, but it was Nicola puts on a great party when there's no drink involved. In fairness to her,
Yeah,
though.
but I suppose if we had a drink into that, it would have been nice. Like if we
If we had a drink into it,
that's the old-fashioned.
It is the
child's
old-fashioned way.
birthday,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
I think we should bring that back.
yeah, let's bring back drinking
Because
at kids' parties.
if we had all landed yesterday at what time was it? 3:00 we were all there for.
Yeah.
Or in around. If we all landed at 3:00 and there was cans,
yeah,
wouldn't that have been nice?
it would have been savage, and we should have put a Gigi out in the back garden.
Yes,
Playing-
and a bouncy castle.
Playing like old like rave music.
Yeah. A big thing came up, and I
It's
know
not a day for kids really birthday parties.
No,
not
they're
really,
no,
not
no.
really.
And
no.
I noticed as well, none of her friends were at it. What's that about?
So she hasn't quite. We were contemplating that, funnily enough, because she's in creche now. We were like, I wonder, do we have to invite some of the kids that are in her class?
I went home and this is the naivety again.
Yeah.
And I said to Laura, that was a good party. I really enjoyed it. But I just noticed Ali didn't have many friends at it.
yeah.
Is she not popular or what's the story? And Laura had said, no, 2-year-olds don't necessarily have friends.
Yeah, so she has other kids in her class, but
Yeah.
like we don't know the parents. I actually know one of the parents. I don't know if she knows that we know that they know that we're
They
in that
know,
class.
yes.
But Roisin, she's in your class, lovey. Okay, anyway. The other thing is, did you not notice something else about yesterday's party?
The pizza was nice.
Okay.
Nice touch.
Did you notice anything about the family orientation that was there yesterday? No one even asked this, by the way, which is more testament to how little people think about me.
There wasn't a single other Kendy in the room.
No Kennedy.
We
came
were
to the
all
party.
delighted with it. They're a shower of bastards. They're the worst family I ever met.
There wasn't one Kendy at the
No,
party.
and it was lovely because
That's the way to have it. Like, it's not a day for families. birthdays,
All
they're
Nicholas'
not.
family was there, but
All
not
Nicholas'
one
family
of.
was
It's
there.
almost like you've fallen out with them.
Yeah, it is all, but it was good to know what it'd be like if I fell out with them, because it didn't change anything.
No,
No,
it didn't, yeah.
no. It turns out they all. So Lisa and Joey got like obviously Ellie's in America, but Lisa and Joey got a vomiting bug, like the sickest they ever were in their lives. I hope they don't mind me saying this, but they were
Yeah,
both.
I'm sure they love that now.
So they were both stuck to the floor, and they couldn't get off the floor in the house for a full day.
Jesus.
So much so they had to emergency ring me mother to go down,
And then she got toast as
and
well.
then she got it as well.
So you really saved a few pounds on the pizza that way. Like
I know, yeah.
she only got 3 from Domino's.
I would have had to get another large pepperoni. Every one of them ended up getting sick, so no one could come down. It was too risky.
While we were all sitting around in a circle, you know the way this podcast is heavily built on robbing other people's comedy.
Oh yeah,
We're going to do that now.
yeah,
Because as we were all sitting around, Derek happened to be there,
Yeah.
the Godfather, and Derek said that he described a certain genre of film, and I'm sorry now, I'm going to shamelessly rob it on him,
Yeah.
because it makes so much sense.
yeah. So we were all talking about what kind of films we like and
Yeah,
stuff, and I was
yeah.
like, I only like thrillers where you don't know, can't be standing the action stuff.
Yeah, and we talked about Tony Travers as well. Tony doesn't like anything that's fantasy.
Yeah, he doesn't
Yeah.
like any fan. I was saying I don't like blue guns.
Oh, Star Wars.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
what I mean, whenever I say blue gun films, When I say blue gun films, what I mean is like there can't be any like laser pew pew pew.
Yeah.
Or there can't be like this is the magic sword with blue light coming out of it that saves the universe.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like I said this before, but I watched the Avengers where the Hulk was boxing the head of some fella with long hair. And then you're like, oh, this is the fight. They're fighting now. And then your man goes, no, I have the energy swords. Pew, 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 pew. And then that you're like, for fuck's sake. That's so I can't watch any blue gun films. Now, the boys did remind me, Dwayne and Derek told me, you have locked yourself out of the last 200 blockbusters in the cinema.
Because you don't like the blue guns?
Yeah, and I was like, good. I don't want to watch that shit.
Yeah, but you're thinking poor Tony Travers, if anything isn't real, he can't watch it.
But I get that though. I'm with Tony. Me and Tony very similar. We must kiss. We must start kissing, me and Tony, because we're very similar in that way. Yeah,
Brendan
I think
wants to
Brendan's
kiss
the
too.
same as Brendan's like I'm the same. Yeah, Brendan's kissing as well.
I want to kiss too.
No, I get you though. There has to be. It has to be real for me as well. Like I'm just not. I watch a lot of documentary or else like thriller or I fucking love when it's based on a true story and afterwards they show you the real pictures.
Wow, yeah,
in the credits.
Yeah.
I love that.
Laura
Can't be
doesn't
watching.
Laura doesn't like time travel. She just doesn't said no, it's not real. So again, it's the kind of similar thing.
Yeah.
So I can't watch film with her. There's one really good Donald Gleason film where basically the premise of the film is if he jumps in the wardrobe, he can go back to any time in his life if he wants to.
There's a lot of people jumping in wardrobes now, I'll tell you.
But I really love it. I think it's great. It's done so really well. But Laura would refuse to watch it because it's time travel. That's a load of shite.
So she wouldn't watch Back to the Future.
No, she's never seen Back to the Future.
Yeah,
that
no.
was the trophy film that she started. She died in that hill.
Yeah, no, I'm a little bit embarrassed about this. I have seen Back to the Future, but I can't remember anything about it. So I only seen it when I was a kid.
That's okay.
And I don't get the whole hype of, well, this is the film of our youth. Like,
yeah, it is.
The film of my youth was Three Ninjas and Richie Rich. Like they were.
Richie Rich was marvelous.
Yeah, Richie Rich was unbelievable.
It was a very good film.
He was a very good baseball player. Though I have to hand it to him.
Yeah,
he did. That's where he met all his friends. Anyway, that was my thing. I didn't watch Back to the Future or Back to the Future 2. The Future's coming back. None of that stuff.
Coming back to
Back to the Future 2. Future's come back.
Getting on to what Derek said, which was the most.
His genre.
It was unreal.
Yeah.
Men who you shouldn't mess with.
That was class.
And I had to think for seconds going, what do you mean by that now? And obviously then we started talking about like Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
He's a man that was just minding his own business and people messed with him, but you shouldn't mess with him.
Tucking.
Taken.
Yeah.
Tucking 2.
Tucking 2, tucking 3.
Tucking 3, yeah.
Yeah. Tucking too far, it was called. You can't mess with him. So they mess with him. They shouldn't have messed with him. He comes back. Your man, White House Down, with Bucky Boo that you ran about, Jared Butler.
Jared Butler's a man you shouldn't mess with.
Oh, they tried to mess with him. Woo! That's the genre.
Jason Statham. He
Jason
has
Statham.
a fleet of films.
John Wicks. All of them.
Yeah. And then I went back a little bit further than in my head. Steven Seagal.
Steven Seagal would have been. Yeah.
Not everybody would remember him.
Yeah. Arnold Schwarzenegger. All them. They were all fellas you shouldn't mess with. That's Derek's favourite genre. Who's that?
Beverly Hills Cop.
Axel Foley. Lord rest him was.
Lord rest him me arse.
He was a rugby player for Munster.
Oh.
Is that where he got his nickname from? This other Axel Foley?
It must be, yeah.
Is it? His name was Anthony Foley. But anyway, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was his. What's your genre if you have to? And don't just say Star Trek.
No, but first of all, on the Star Trek issue, it's really surprising to me that I love Star Trek, yet think Star Wars is ridiculous.
Yeah, Star Wars is ridiculous.
But Star Trek is perfectly reasonable.
No, it's not reasonable at all. Professor Spock.
Yeah, but he's not Professor Spock.
Oh, sorry, did he lose his job?
He didn't lose that.
What do you mean?
When do you think he was a professor?
Chief Spock, was he that?
No, Lieutenant or Commander Spock.
So
something or other like that.
Yeah, the thing with Star Trek, and it's the other reason why I can't watch a lot of TV shows now as well, especially TV shows like that, is that
Blue Guns.
Again, the Blue Guns is a big one, but I don't like shows where it becomes unbelievable all the stuff that happens. So I used to watch a lot of Coronation Street with my mother, right?
Yeah.
Trying to do me homework, crying me eyes out, not being able to add 2 plus 2.
That's something me and you have. That's a core memory of mine.
Yeah.
So that's mad how Coronation Street features so heavily in both our
Yeah,
lives.
so I don't remember a lot about my youth because I try and forget it. But the one thing I do remember, I remember where I was when Richard drove the car into the river.
I remember where I was too.
You know?
Yeah.
I can remember watching that. It was such a big moment.
Didn't Corrie though just get a bit unbelievable?
That's what I'm saying.
That's okay.
So the soaps are on 3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah.
And you end up going, there's no way there's another mass murderer. on the East End of London, like in East End. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're just like, you're Joe. Oh, another one dead. Christmas Day.
Did you ever get into EastEnders?
No, that's what I'm saying though. Like,
Yeah.
like the thing with EastEnders is that I couldn't get into it. Is like, is the fact that they go, oh, every Christmas Day something mental happens.
There has to, yeah.
I'd move. Like if I was in East, I'd be like, you know what? I'm going moving to Surrey or something, or
Yeah.
I'm going moving to Charlton.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to move it out to Tottenham.
Did you find EastEnders, and I don't know, people, fans of EastEnders out there, I always found it very adversarial. They were always shouting at each other, or giving out, or being mean to each other.
Yeah! You fucking bug, Pat!
There was, at least, Corey, there was a bit of crack in it.
You fucking Bob! Get out of my Bob, you fucking... That's what it's all a load of shite. In Corrie it was a little bit more, but like I used to love
They were
the
in the
acting.
pub and enjoying themselves.
Did you ever see any episode of like Corrie where it would have been like, you know, if there would have been an altercation, a physical altercation?
Yes.
They always acted it out terribly and filmed it terribly.
Yes.
And it ends up like where someone would push someone. It might be a woman who
Yeah.
who like pushes another woman or half slaps her, and the woman who gets hit always goes. That's always what happened. That's what happens. But Corrie was the big one, and the other one wasn't there one called Heartbeat that
Yes.
was set in the 60s?
Yeah, it was,
right.
yeah.
So Heartbeat. I hope I'm right in saying this. Please the Lord, because it's a great point if I'm right. If Heartbeat was set in the 60s, how the fuck has it been on for 30 years? I mean, come on. Do you know what I mean?
But it's still on.
How many years were in the 60s? Like,
But I think it was...
how many
oh,
days were in the 60s?
Reruns.
No,
Mark.
but so
No, it was reruns.
hang on
fairness.
now. I thought it was just a show set in the 60s.
It is
but
set
it was
in-
filmed recently.
No.
No, it doesn't.
Heartbeat-
You're all a bunch of dirty
No.
liars.
Heartbeat was in the... Is what?
We're waiting. If Glenroe was released on Netflix, I think people have been
If Glen Rowe was released on Netflix, like as in now that we know it, is that what you
Yeah.
mean, Brendan?
people binge watching.
Would people binge watch?
I would
doubt it.
absolutely. I mean, I still remember watching when Biddy was looking for the
No,
teddy behind the
it-
car and she went up above in the back of the tractor. I remember.
Nobody would be binge
And when
watching.
Miley was lumping it into it above the hay shed.
But I'm
You don't
surprised
think
at
so?
RTE though for not going back into the records room. You know,
I
and-
can't believe
and
it's not
pulling
been
out-
redone yet.
Yeah.
Is Ross Naroon still going? It is,
Yes,
yeah.
very
It
much
is.
so, flying.
And come here, what was the other one? Ballycus Angel. Do you remember
Ballycus
Ballycus
Angel?
Angel?
Yeah.
God above, that was...
There was-
So, the 60s period series was filmed from 1991 to 2009. So, can I
Oh,
just
yeah.
let... Nicola, will you start cooking there? Because the boys are asking for humble pie. I was right. It was a
were
period
right,
thing.
yeah.
So how the hell for 18 years did they film a show about the 60s? It's 18 years long. There's only 10 years in the 60s.
It's true.
Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
but how much? So if that's true though,
Yeah.
it's still too much shit going on for 10 years. Like, so they just finish up with one
See, now,
thing. Nino,
no, hold
Nino.
on now.
Oh, we're after clearing up that
You're-
car. You're joking. There's a mass killer on the loose. The next day. You know, that only works with cartoons. It
Okay.
only works with The Simpsons and all that. You can't be bringing it into shows like that because that's what ruins them.
do you?
I would recommend. Sorry, Ray. Now, the only thing you should be watching, right, is Netflix crime documentaries, and I'll tell you why. I love Netflix crime documentaries because they all start the same, right? They all start with the chief of police,
Yes.
right, sitting there.
Sitting-
He has a Ronnie. He's
Yeah.
been the chief of police for 30 years,
Yeah.
and he says something like, you know,
Never
the
seen
thing
that
about
coming.
Albuquerque County is just a small town. We ain't never seen nothing like this before.
Yeah, and then it comes
Until
to the
that
victim's
day.
mother.
Yeah, the victim, and she's like, well,
I
we,
really thought she was going to come home.
we had no idea when she rang and went missing. It was 2 days before Christmas Day, and then they always. This is my favorite thing about those documentaries as well is they always pretend nothing goes on in the town.
No.
right? And then it turns out everyone knew that it was all they were mad into like a set. So they're like the Petersons were the solicitors. They own half the land in the county.
Yeah.
and they were just a real stand-up family in church every Sunday.
then
Now
the
it turns out that 3 of their sons did have sex parties on the boat that we all knew about at the time, but we didn't know it was as sinister as it was supposed to be. You know that. So that they all start like that. They all start with the chief of police who's never seen nothing like this before in his
No.
life. Watch all of them because at least they're true.
Can
Do you know?
I ask you, after all we've spoken about
Yeah.
back in the day when we were growing up and there was homework being done on Coronation Street, we've
Yeah.
been watched.
Yeah.
How shite is Fair City?
Fair City, and I'm so sorry if we ever work on RG, which won't happen. Is
I could never get into it.
It's the worst, the worst load of shite that has ever. And come here, is Paul still on it? Is he?
Yeah.
He was like a shite Phil Mitchell. Wasn't he?
He was.
He was like a shite version of Phil Mitchell. It was absolute drivel. I'd love to see this is the thing. We need to modernise soaps. I know Hollyoaks was a big one for young people, and so was Home and Away. Right?
Home and Away, yeah, it got me
But
through 30 years of my life.
We need Irish modern soap opera.
Yes.
So let's
But was
see.
Love Hate not that? Was
I
Love
mean,
Hate not?
It didn't have the same kind of...
It's not a true reflection of crack in Dublin.
Well, I mean, but it doesn't have to be true reflection of crack in Dublin, though. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be, because, like, it's not a true reflection of Manchester when you watch Coronation Street and you're like,
Oh no,
well, people get killed
it
every
is.
day.
I lived in Manchester.
That's exactly what it's like.
I spent
Cobblestones
6
and
months-
people riding
I
all
lived
over the
only
place.
down the road from Coronation Street, and it was a very eventful 6 months.
Cobblestones and riding is what happens everywhere.
Cobblestones, riding, and the factory getting robbed, and who did
Oh
it?
yeah, set on fire,
Yeah.
and then do you remember your one? I used to think she was absolutely beautiful. Your one who ran the Knickers place.
Oh, what
she
do
used to
you
be in
call
a
her?
film called Dream Team as well.
What's
She used
her
to be on
name?
Dream Team.
Carla.
Carla, was that her name?
Did you like Carla?
Oh, I thought she was a beaut because like she was the first older woman I ever liked. Do you know? Because she kind of came across as she's probably 80 now. I don't know, like,
She's
but
not. She
is.
looks relatively well. For
Does she?
her.
Is she
Yeah,
still
yeah.
in it?
I think she's still in it, yeah.
She's this
Because she can't leave because Peter is still an alcoholic and she has to mind him.
Oh, sure. How could she then? Sorry, I didn't realise that. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you
No,
can't-
sorry. I
no.
didn't realise that, Ray. Sorry, no.
Sorry,
fair.
no. If you've been affected by any of the
I
topics
jumped.
raised in this, please go
I
on.
jumped the gun there. I should have presumed she was still there
speaking
because
of which,
Peter's an alcoholic.
I looked up Suicide Pod today on the internet.
Okay. What?
We're jumping here now.
Jesus Christ.
So I read an article. I find myself reading a lot of lad Bible articles on Facebook.
Okay, you shouldn't.
I'm now a top fan.
No, it's awful because they clickbait the shit out of you.
Yeah, they really do.
You won't believe what Stephen Gerrard said.
So UK couple sign up to Suicide Pod. And I was going, what's this about? So apparently there's a thing now called a Suicide Pod, which is a little yoke you get into and they pump in nitrogen and you're dead in 10 minutes. And you can do this over in Switzerland if you have maybe been
Terminal
diagnosed
illness.
with a terminal illness and it's going to kill you. What you can do is sign up to Switzerland and they'll put you in the box and they'll kill you slowly.
So
in
what?
10 minutes.
What would your opinion of that be?
So when my opinion of it is as with every choice on people's bodies, if you're in a fit state of mind and you decide, you know something, I couldn't be arsed with this,
Yeah,
put me in the Suicide Pod,
Yeah.
off with you.
yeah.
I'm not going to stop you.
Yeah.
It's your own decision. I wouldn't be telling them, no, you can't do that now, it's not right.
So wasn't there trouble over that because some people would have been attached to it? Like you would have gotten trouble if you facilitated this. So if you ask me, let's say,
Oh no, in this country I can't
No.
assist you to die.
yes,
No.
but that goes as far as you can't go with me.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Not that I don't know what I want to.
Wasn't that trouble though? Like you can't book my flight because then
Oh, then your assistant. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Do you know what I mean?
You can't do any of that.
I think anyway
You
that
have to
was
get
a problem.
your own way over there.
The only thing I will say on that, Ray, is and without getting too serious, is that everybody wants to go gracefully,
Yeah.
and there's loads of people have this. My big fear is that I end up becoming a hindrance for my
right.
kids and for Nicola.
Yeah.
And I don't
That's
want
their big fear too.
well,
Yeah,
no, they're already there.
told.
Nicholas, like, Mark, you have been a hindrance since the day I met you. So, yeah, I would go for it then.
Go for it then.
Certainly, and I haven't seen this firsthand, so I really, really don't want to upset people out there, but for something along the lines of Alzheimer's or dementia,
Yeah.
I've watched a lot of documentaries on it, and I think if that happened to me, I would want to go. Because I don't think I will end up being the person that they remembered anyway.
This was
now
a
there
nice
could be people
story.
out there who deal with it, but go on anyway.
It was a couple.
Yeah.
So they were in their 80s and both of them had kind of been diagnosed with stuff that was going to kill them slowly.
Yeah.
And I don't think either of them could have cared for each other. So they would have ended up being, like you said, not a burden, but they would have been had to be cared for. So they decided we've lived a great life.
Yeah.
Let's go to Switzerland and let's go together.
Yeah.
Do you know, literally go together. And the reason I'm bringing this up was that was a nice story. I was reading about it. It was lovely. And then I said, I wonder how this yoke works.
Yeah.
Because I just wanted to hear more about the Suicide Pod and how it was designed and how it actually
you wanted to get into
I
the
wanted
science
to know
of it.
what happens in them 10 minutes. Do
Yeah.
you just fall asleep
Yeah.
in each other? Because the idea is this couple were going to fall asleep in each other's arms,
I
which is a
don't
real
fucking-
romantic, nice
No,
way.
I can't deal
Yeah.
with this.
So,
I'm not able for this.
but when
Go
I
on.
looked up Suicide Pod, and it's great, Google are on it. As soon as I looked it up, I didn't get results for Suicide Pod. I got numbers for the Samaritans.
You're joking.
I got numbers
That's brilliant.
for Pieta House.
Yeah.
And in fairness, it was the first thing in big black letters. Do you need to talk?
That is brilliant.
Because I'd looked up suicide.
Yeah.
And I actually did think to myself, probably not the best thing to be looking up, because if anything does happen to me in the next day or two, the last thing they want to be seeing in my Google search is that I.
Yeah.
So it's important. I said this in the podcast.
So, do you know what you do next, Ray? Is
What?
just to make sure, Google now when you go home, I think my wife is going to kill me. So Google
Yes.
that, and then at least then if you go the next 2 days,
She'll get the blame.
she'll get the blame
Yeah,
for
you're
it
right.
then.
Yeah.
Is it possible she poisoned my food?
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
How could my wife kill me?
Yeah. How is
Do you
my
know
wife
something?
planning
You
to
could
kill
have
me?
fierce crack with that.
Oh, it'd be unreal.
Just polluting your internet search the whole time with daft stuff.
Yeah, that'd be class. Yeah, that is.
Sorry, no, I didn't mean
Go
to
on.
bring a.
No, but Gwan, you were going to finish that there with something.
That was
where,
it.
you know-
I just wanted to find out, and
Oh, yeah.
apparently they just pump the nitrogen and you just fall asleep.
And that's what it is, yeah.
That's it.
I mean,
Nice way
look,
to go.
I still don't think I'd be able to make that choice, though. The one thing I will say, and I never say it because it is so terrifying, I'm terrified of death. Terrified of death.
Yeah.
But apparently it is just human nature for a lot of people that when they come to that stage of their life, they make peace with it.
But apparently,
You know?
and again, this is me watching videos and this sort of stuff, and I shouldn't be looking them up.
Yeah.
Apparently, when you're about to go, and lots of people who kind of technically died on the operating table or whatever, they basically have the out of body
Yes.
experience. But if there's been a couple of scientific studies on this now, and they've all kind of said everything people say is kind of consistent. They have this out of body experience where they feel like they're just aware of their whole life, and they're aware of all the interactions they've ever had that might have caused harm or brought happiness, and they see it not just from their perspective, but they also see it from the other person's perspective. So they get this, and they make out that apparently, you know, the way the human mind is not supposed to be working a full whack at all.
Well, mine certainly isn't,
apparently the brakes come off when you're about to go.
Go away.
And your mind shoots into action, and you basically get to review. This is your life moment, and you get to review the whole thing, and it's marvelous, great show, and then you're gone.
Do you think that that's a biological response, or is that something from above?
I think it's one or the other. It's either the road to heaven, which
Yeah.
would be great.
Yeah.
You know, I'm really big fan of the escalator. The idea
Yeah.
that literally you find yourself in an escalator
That'd
with
be
whoever else
class.
happened to die at the time.
Yeah.
And you're just going up into the clouds.
Yeah.
I think that's a really nice, reassuring thing.
I'd happily go, I don't care where I end up, but I'd happily go to heaven if they had golf courses. If not, send me down where it's warm at least.
What
anyway.
was the song Heaven is a Half Pipe? Is that a skating song?
That's a skating song,
Yeah,
yeah.
so-
If I die before I wake, at
Yeah.
least in heaven I can skate.
At least you could skate. Was there awful skating prohibitions back then for that lad?
Oh, but sure, for any of them, any of those punk boys, you see, all of the older gentlemen in the city did not want them skating in their parks, you see, Raymond.
Yeah.
That was the big problem.
Do you remember I meant to
Why
talk
you youngsters?
I meant to talk about this. We did a little thing on the Instagram there recently, thanks to my
Did we?
lovely lady wife, Laura. She took the pictures. It was her idea.
Oh, yeah.
We did Mannequin Challenge Ray.
Yeah.
And I hadn't talked about it, but I really enjoyed it.
Did you?
Because I felt like $1 million in some of the outfits
Shane
I put
Gillen
on.
one was so perfect because me and Nicola both said it straight away.
It's Shane Gillen,
That
yeah.
looks like Shane Gillen.
Yeah, but Shane Gillen is a good friend of the podcast, but he's
Yeah.
a great man for wearing outlandish clothes.
Yeah.
Clothes that we wouldn't feel like we're comfortable wearing at all.
Pulling them off as well, by the way, might I say.
You'd really have to have a chat with yourself going out.
I don't know how
to
you
kind
could.
of go, I'm going to wear this out. I'm going to be the thing everybody looks at.
Yeah. Now,
Mm.
but so do you then think or hope that you could reinvent yourself if you were to live in, let's say, a foreign country?
Oh, if I moved to Athlone or something.
yeah. That's what I meant. Yeah.
If I moved to Athlone or something, I could
You can't wear
definitely-
those clothes that long.
You
either,
can
by the way.
reset. You
No.
can reset and wear.
Let's say
outlandish
Dublin,
clothes.
because in Dublin you can do what you want.
You
Do
probably
you know what I
could,
mean?
but you'd have to kind of.
But
make
would you, is what I'm saying, would you reinvent yourself if you moved to Dublin?
No, I'm very.
Because I got called a fat toddler, like as in
What?
whatever it
Oh,
was.
yes,
You know
with
what
the
I mean?
hat, yeah.
So, but I could. No one would know me then. I'd be in the new city, big
Yeah,
dick swinging.
true. Yeah.
I could. Would I dress any different? Because I don't think I would.
No, I wouldn't dress any different.
Do
but
you feel like you're being held back? And
No,
you should
I-
be allowed to wear those ridiculous
I'm being
clothes.
encouraged to dress differently.
I saw people look more. You look more ridiculous than a lot of people on Halloween in those clothes. I'm sorry to say that. Like,
What?
you look terrible in most of it. That was the craziest clothes I've ever seen. But on anyone though.
But isn't the man?
Not
They're
just
on
on
the
you.
mannequins. That's the thing the shop is suggesting you to buy.
No, it's ridiculous. They look so stupid.
Like Sean O'Reilly's best fashion advice to me was he said he goes in whatever in a mannequin he just buy the whole lot and that's him.
Well, I'd love to see him try and pull that stuff off.
Yeah, but it's marvelous. I enjoyed some of it.
I didn't enjoy a bit of it.
Yeah.
Have you any other odd crack, Ray, before we go doing or living our life or whatever?
I not really know.
No, that's good. I mean, we might have enough done anyway.
That was an awful anticlimax.
Good luck now.
Yeah.
No, we do a few things we have to get to.
Do you want me to do the knee slap thing that we did yesterday?
Yeah. Okay, so can everyone actually listen to this for a sec? This is good. If you're leaving a social setting,
Or you're finishing up a podcast.
or you're
for an
finishing
evening.
up tell me a better way to do it than the Irish knee slap.
But let's see where I got wrong. I would wrong yesterday evening. I came in from the kitchen and I stood there in front of amongst you all and I said,
Yeah.
I think it's time we left.
Yeah, you
Laura,
do-
get your coat.
And actually, it's funny, you do that a lot. And it's amazing how awkward it makes a room, right?
Is it?
Because Ray will just come in and say,
I know.
Laura, we are now going to leave the house now, okay? And like, there'll be a group of people sitting around going, okay. But Ray won't just do the Irish thing, which is to, and you'll hear this.
But Luke said, why didn't you just go, would you not try just a normal, what is it called? Knee slap?
Yeah, knee slap.
Just a normal double-handed knee slap.
No one does like that. And then, this is it.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And you don't have to do anything else.
Just get up and you're...
And Luke, in fairness to him, actually pointed out that if you are the owner of the house in which the social setting and the social gathering is happening,
yes,
you can also make other people leave by doing that.
By doing the knee slap.
By just going, now,
right.
everyone goes, yeah, I better go. But guaranteed someone will go, yeah, I better go.
Yeah.
That's what happened. That's all you have to do.
It's amazing because I never realised how important a knee slap is.
Yeah.
And now I know that this is a flaw in my character. So for years I've been making it really awkward by actually saying out loud to everybody, it's time I left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one needs to hear that.
You're right. And I've been considering myself educated.
Yeah. So the Irish knee slap, ladies and gentlemen, it is as good as the joke, laugh, walk. That's another way to get it. We talked about that before. Joke, laugh, walk's a great way to get out of a conversation.
Yeah. So on that note,
right.
So I suppose that's everything for today.
A big thanks to Brendan for flicking the keys off himself. Don't forget we have some live shows coming up, which are I Don't Want to Do It. We're doing one on the 12th of December in which
how the tables have changed.
Yeah, I do not want to do this one, so you're really going to enjoy it, everybody.
We haven't got an old guest yet. We'll have to get a wee
No,
guest.
we'll have to get a guest. We'll have to start selling the tickets. I don't want to be there. I'm just letting everyone know.
That's not good.
Yeah, we do have another one in February in the hospital.
Marketing.
No, yeah, I'm usually good at marketing, but this one I don't want to do, so let everyone know that.
Can I, before we go as well, speaking of shows, can I give my mother-in-law's show a shout out?
Absolutely you can.
If anybody is in the vicinity of Calry, right? That's a little village outside of Sligo, very reminiscent to where I grew up. There's a 2-act play happening on Friday and Saturday night this weekend, which is the 13th and 14th.
That flute's in it.
Brendan Tierney is in it. He's starring in one of the plays or two of the plays? One, yeah.
I only got one.
Yeah, he's 2 lines and he is going to be fantastic. So if you'd like to come and see Brendan Tierney in a 1-act play on a night where there'll be 2 1-act
Or
plays.
Suzanne in 2 plays.
Yeah, no, Suzanne is the director.
Oh!
Yeah, my mother-in-law is the director and she's very good at the directing. Isn't she, Brendan? She's
shy, she
insane.
said. Yeah, sorry.
So anyway, it's only, I think tickets are something like €41. You can get them on Eventbrite.
On Eventbrite?
Or you can buy them on the door. I know, it's only...
I thought you had to get them in the regional.
Sure, it's a really good cause. Well, it's for...
Regional stores in Sligo.
Stores, you'll get it, yeah.
Which is upside anyone who's in Sligo. This is very, very Sligo specific for a podcast that has not many listeners in Sligo. Most of them are outside. But if you are from Sligo, the regional stores is upside the college.
I'm scoring brownie points with my mother-in-law.
Are you trying to get money or something?
I don't know, you always have to keep things in the red.
Jeez, you're trying to get something left your way at some stage. Fucking hell. So fair play to them in all their actings.
Yeah.
And let you enjoy it. And
one is about a murder and one is about COVID.
Okay.
That's what the plays are about.
And then there's a third surprise, but I don't want to break it, but you murdered someone with COVID. And don't be worried about I don't want to say everything about it.
That's how it all ends. It all comes together at the end.
Big thanks to Maves and the Garvogue for sponsoring the Heads Clean office, and a big thanks to Brendan for flicking the keys off himself. Ray, we must go now.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Good luck. Oh wait, no, we messed that up.
I messed the whole thing up because of that.
Because of the knee
slap.
slap.
Hang on, let me work it out properly.
Yeah, you got a knee slap, fair play. Oh no, is it what?
No, we'll go fair. We'll say fair play to me, and then good luck.
Okay,
Okay,
right,
is that good?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Ray, fair play to me.
And fair play to me.
Good luck. That was really good.
The Kendy and Raybo podcast, sponsored by Maeve's Cozy Front Lounge and the Garavogue.